So I bet you guys didn't know that the products you use in your everyday life have the potential to injure you, maim you, even kill you. Today we're going to talk about products liability and how products can affect you and everyone in their everyday life. So a regular attorney doesn't know what he's looking at when he looks at a products liability case. They don't know what they're looking at. Someone like me that's been trained knows, like we talked about in a previous video, we know where to look, government databases. When a product malfunctions a certain amount of times, that company has to report those malfunctions to the government, and the government issues a recall. Everybody knows what a recall is. That means there's an issue with a product. You can either take the product back to get it fixed, get your money back, or etc. So there's, tons of things that happen with the recall. But once the government is informed, that company has to inform the general public that, hey, this product is defective, it may hurt you, bring it back, we'll trade it out for a new one, we'll give you your money back, etc. The lady that had the defective blender, she goes from attorney to attorney, they don't know what to do with it. Finally, she gets to me. I know what to do with the case. I, go into these government databases. Hey, there's a recall on this blender. So this make model blender has malfunctioned a number of times, enough times to where there's a recall on it. So then I know what to do. I know who to contact. At this point, some of these companies a lot of these bigger companies have the same defense counsel, these big firms that defend these big corporations. So, you reach out to them, hey, I believe I have a possible products liability case. This is the product, this, that, and the third. I go from there. Long story short, I collect my client's medical records. There was glass in her eye. She had multiple lacerations to her face. So we got pictures, all of that, drafted up a complaint. A complaint is basically a lawsuit. I didn't file it. I just sent it over with a demand letter to the defense counsel, and it goes from there. Long story short, we settled it. Now my client's a rich lady. The point of the story is that the average person doesn't know they have a lawsuit. If this was to happen, like, she didn't know she had a lawsuit until she started talking to different people, family members. One of her family members had a college buddy that ended up going to law school and was an attorney but didn't practice products liability. But that attorney told her, hey, you could probably sue them. You should look into that. But the everyday person doesn't think about that. Hey, she was thinking she probably put something that wasn't supposed to go in the blender, or she put the blender on high, and that's what caused it. Or it was a brand new blender, she didn't give it time to warm up. She had all these excuses. She was blaming herself. When I met with her, oh, it probably was this, it probably was that, it was probably my fault. Because the average person doesn't think that this happens on a daily basis. They don't think to blame the product. They always want to, oh, maybe I did something wrong. And that's what this lady was doing. She was blaming herself. And if it would have been any other attorney that doesn't know about products liability, then, the attorney probably would have agreed with her. Yeah, well, you're saying you put it on high, you put something freshly out the freezer in there, so it might have been too hard, too hard of a substance for it to blend, and that's what caused it to blow up. She was making all these excuses and putting the blame on herself. Long story short, it wasn't her fault. It was a defective product. But for me looking up that there's a recall, she would have never known that. She would have gone on in life with these lacerations, with these injuries for the rest of her life, and never been compensated. So, as I said before, these everyday products damage and injure everyday people, and some of these people don't know what to do when that happens. So the steps you should take when you're injured by a product: of course, you should seek medical attention if you're injured, and then keep record of everything. When you go to seek medical attention, make sure the doctor or whoever sees you knows, hey, this was a product. I was using this, blew up, it malfunctioned, it whatever, it broke down, and whatever happened, make sure it is documented in your medical records. Okay, don't just tell them, I sliced my eye with something, or I got hurt doing some gardening. No, tell them what product you were using and explain to them how that product hurt you. That way it's documented, it's on record. Doctors have to take notes on what was the reason or what caused the injury. So always make sure it's documented, and you forget to document it, could be an issue down the line. Make sure you do not dispose of the product. The product is the evidence. Even though you might feel upset, this is the product. A lot of people, have a knee-jerk reaction to it. This product hurt me, it could hurt my kids, I'm gonna throw it away, toss it out. Do not do that. Put it in a box, put it in a safe place. It is evidence against the company. Do not throw it away, okay? Make sure that is very important, because in cases like these, in cases where the product injures you, we need to prove that the product was the culprit, the product caused the injury. So usually what happens is we get engineers that come out and inspect the instrument, inspect the product, and see if it was truly part of the recall, if it truly malfunctioned. So that is very important that you keep the product. In more than one case that I've dealt with, the company, sometimes the client tries to contact the company directly. Don't do that. Don't do that, because they're gonna CYA. They're gonna cover their own. And I've gotten cases where the company says, yes, just send us the product and we'll do right by you. We're gonna pay your medical bills. We're gonna do this, that, and the third. Once they have the product back, you gave them the product, that's it. Like you don't have any evidence against them. They might not even follow through on any promise. Or they might pay your medical bills, but you might be entitled to a lot of money because they have the evidence. Now, you're on the short end. You're on the short end of the stick. They're up here, you're down here. You don't have any evidence against them to prove that this is the product that actually malfunctioned. That's gone. So do not let them have the product. So keep in mind, guys, when you guys are using these everyday products, your electric razor to shave, your vape, I've had vape cases before where they blow up and blow a hole in someone's cheek. Your ladder, it isn't properly assembled and it malfunctions. Your blender, or your gardening tools or gardening chemicals. We'll talk about that in another video. Trusting your livelihood, your well-being to these products, and these products can injure you, maim you, even kill you, as I said before. Well, if you like this video, if you thought it was informative or it could help someone, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the notification so you get a notification next time I drop a video. Share it with your friends, family, anyone you think that may have been affected by a product. Make sure you share so the word gets out. I'll talk to you guys next time, all right?